Update on the Cafe Racer. I cleaned it up, getting it ready for spring. Painted some stuff, like this light was starting to fade pretty bad, so I painted it. Painted all the controls. I got some black paint here. I can't get that off with alcohol. And if anybody knows what to get that off with, let me know. Touched up the wheels. Kind of cleaned up the wires a little bit. Repainted that. Painted the forks. Touched that up. I had my wife. This it was kind of like a really faded plastic look, so I painted over that with a flat black. I'm gonna have her. This is my speed control. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna have her, my Cricket, print out some numbers to put there. Let's see how many miles I have on this thing. 710, not bad. Figured I'd have a lot more. But yeah, I've been, obviously, I've had it for about a year. So I'd say last summer I put 710 miles on it. I rode it once or twice this year, just down the road. It's starting to get warm though, so I'm about ready, itching. But yeah, I want to redo these badges too. These were the original ones that came with it, and they were all in pieces. I kind of had to Bondo them and sand them and Dremel them to get them to. You can tell if you get close, they're still starting to crack again. Yeah, I like it a lot. It's my favorite one. I got this over here. It's kind of under construction. I had a QS 180 in that. I took it out and made a go-kart with it. I'm going to put a 12K hub motor on it, do a 96 volt. That way I can fill this whole void up here with a battery, so I can get some really good range with it. Believe it or not, the Cafe Racer was faster with the same motor, same controller than the Ninja clone, and a lot of it's because that sprocket. I'm not sure, it's been a while how many teeth that sprocket is, but you can just tell looking at that one. And then you look at this one over here, I mean, there's very, very big difference. I said it's probably 15, 20 more teeth on this one. But yeah, me and a buddy, we raced them, and the Ninja had probably more high end. I've had the Cafe Racer up to about 115, 115, somewhere in there. That's probably about top. I'd say you might hit 120 if you're really, really pushing it. But I've had, like I said, 110, 115s. And it actually does very well. I figured at that kind of speed it would be very shaky, but it actually is pretty true, pretty solid at that speed. I don't feel like I'm losing much control. I mean, as much as you lose going 100 miles an hour on a 1981 motorcycle. But yeah, I like it a lot. Like I said, one of my favorites. I've built 2 or 3 of them, and this was my first, and this is the one I always go back to. It's just such a smooth ride for the year it is. It's just incredible how smooth this thing rides. I had a Harley Road King, and I got that right before I built this, and I noticed, I just wasn't riding it as much, mainly because I'd go to work at 7:30 in the morning, and, I start that Harley up, everybody peeks out their window. No one hears it. It's completely silent, which is good and bad. Obviously there's situations where you want to be heard, but just be as, cautious as I can to make sure that no one merges over or anything like that. But, like I said, I love it. I mean, I'll hold on to this one for a while. I don't see me getting rid of it. I do like to kind of build things and recycle them. And this is my e-bike that I did. I'm sure you've seen in the previous videos. I actually had an issue. The back motor here, how these hub motors work, there's a wire that comes out and it runs. You can't see, but it's underneath it. It runs all the way up to the controller. And there was a little nick in it. We were about 3 miles from our house, and it wouldn't go. I hit a speed bump, and I guess it nicked that wire, and it just wouldn't go. So I had to pedal it the whole way home, this bike is not meant to be pedal, I'll tell you that. So I did switch it up. I would have done it different. I got a really good deal on this hub motor. It's a 5T, is where the other one was a 3. So if you don't know what that means, the lower the T, the less torque, but the more high end. So with the old motor, I could go about 50 miles an hour, which is a lot on one of these. With this one, 5T, came with the tire. You can tell it's a lot more aggressive tire, but the torque on it is just unreal. I mean, you can't keep the front wheel down. You have to really lean forward when you take off, but it'll go about 35, which is fast enough. My wife has one. She actually took it to the beach. They're on vacation this week for spring break, and hers will do 20. But I mean, it takes, and you got to be going downhill to really hit 20. But it's fun for both of us. Hers is a 3-seater, so she can haul the kids, and we'll just ride around here, go to some trails, some e-bike trails, and it's a lot of fun. Something we can all do as a family. I tried to build, when I built that, I wanted to build it for her. It looked a lot smaller. It had a 150cc engine on it. So I figured it wouldn't be the size of a 600, but it was. The frame's a lot bigger than I expected. So she was kind of scared of it. She didn't want to ride it. I put a QS138 on there, so it was a lot more tame than the 180. But she still wasn't going to have anything to do with it. I may get her like a Honda Grom or something, or Grom, whatever they are, and convert that at some point. But as of now, she really just likes the e-bike situation, so that's what we'll do. But yeah, just thought I'd give a little update, kind of trying to clean up the garage out here a little bit, make it more presentable, get out here, I can do some work. It's been a disaster. But thanks. If you have any questions on anything, let me know.